What is Lost Ark? Is it an MMO, an RPG? Is it owned by Amazon? Can I play it on my Alexa? Alexa, play Lost Ark. Alexa. Whatever the debate may be between what genre this game falls under or who owns the game, I'm here to just give you guys a review and my honest opinion of just the game. At the release of this video, I have played 26 hours of Lost Ark, so this review is of someone that is fairly new to the game. I have played other MMOs and ARPGs, but each game, if done right, should have its own identity. I'm having a great time playing this game and all of the content it has to offer. And thanks to Mr. Worldwide Shipping, it's free. At the start of the game, you can expect a lot of cinematic cutscenes that will help you better engage with the story. You start off at level 10 with a good amount of skills in your hotbar. So you don't start off with just a punch ability, you'll have a good sense of what type of skills your character's class has and if it's the right class for you. Combat seems pretty simple. There might be a slight learning curve for some, but grasping the concept of combat in Lost Ark will be relatively easy. If you're not sure which class is for you, don't worry. A great feature of this game is the class tester. I was seriously considering the Gunlancer as my class, but after testing each character, I decided the Paladin fit more with my playstyle. I highly recommend testing each character to find the one that you enjoy the most. Combat is just one of the many things this game has to offer, but you want to be sure that you enjoy the class that you play. I was ready to hack and slash my way through thousands of monsters to level up and progress in the game, but that's not what this game had in store for me. Yes, you can fight hordes of monsters and gain loot and experience that way, but hands down the best way to progress at the start of the game is through quests, and not just the main quest, but side quests. Here I'll show you an example of one. A simple objective to find and kill a monster and report back to them once you've done it. It took about 50 seconds to complete this quest, and I got a lot of experience doing it. The side quests are a breeze, and on average I would say they take anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds. Each zone has a series of quests, and once you're done with them, you can move on to the next one. You'll be doing a lot of side quests in this game, but fear not, because they are not hard. They don't have you running around to another continent to deliver Cambodian goat milk. They won't give you a quest that you can't complete for another 20 levels. You won't have to Google or YouTube how to finish a quest. They're all short and sweet, and for me, they have not gotten repetitive yet, and I have done a ton already. I would like to tell you guys that side quests aren't mandatory, but in my opinion, they pretty much are. After realizing this, I was a bit discouraged. I enjoyed the grind of killing monsters and leveling up that way, but I kept playing the game and I'm glad I did. I won't go much into the story. It's simple and captivating enough for me to keep playing. The story and NPCs are pretty anime oriented at times. If you're into the whole K-pop look, you'll be happy with this game. This guy was so bad at controlling his horse, the game decided to give me one for free. No, seriously, I didn't have to do a quest or buy the horse. After a quick progression of the game, you'll be given a free mount. We're all used to the hardcore grind your eyes out concept of MMOs and other games, where nothing is given for free. Lost Ark differs from that a bit. In this scene, I was given a free pet. I was happy to find out that pets aren't just cosmetics. It's a useful companion that provides you with buffs and picks up items that drop on the floor. A few hours into Lost Ark, and I noticed time was flying by. I didn't play with the goal of leveling up as fast as possible, or play it to compare it to previous MMOs. I had no expectations of the game, and I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. I talked a lot about quests, but the combat in Lost Ark feels very fluid and rewarding. Again, it's important to pick the class that feels right for you. You use your abilities by smashing Q, W, E, R, or whichever keys you decide to bind your skills. Now at the start, these skills may be pretty straightforward and simple, but as you progress, strategy comes into play. We'll talk more about that later. The combat and exploration of the game coincide very naturally. You will steamroll through the mobs of enemies the game throws at you. Now when you reach a boss, you'll usually get a cutscene and more of a challenge with them. Now I didn't notice how easy it was until I realized I had not died once 8 hours into the game. The variation of skills you have and your surroundings make it so entertaining that you hardly notice you're not being challenged. But trust me, it gets challenging the further you progress. You play the game in an isometric view. You can zoom in, but you can't move the camera around. I wouldn't say you're confined in the game's linear path. There's definitely space to move around, but don't expect an open world where you can freely roam. At least not in the start anyways. So you're a few hours into the game, and what we can gather is that the graphics are beautiful, the story is simple enough to follow, quests are quick and painless, combat is rewarding. You're thinking maybe you should look into Korean soap operas. That was pretty much my conclusion after a few hours of playing this game. But the reality is that Lost Ark gets better, at least for me it did. I can, however, see how some might not enjoy their first 10 hours playing the game and as a result quit. And that's okay, but in my opinion, the game evolves into something better, something more challenging. Combat abilities should get a guide of their own. But real quick, the biggest takeaway is the points you spend on skills aren't permanent. You don't need a potion or need to do a quest to reset your points. It doesn't cost money. This is a great feature in my opinion because I dread the thought of ruining a character by leveling up the wrong skill. Your character profile and inventory are very similar to other MMOs and RPG games. There are other features that I'm just now learning about that add more depth to the game and your character. Another takeaway is your equip item level. You'll need a certain item level to do things like enter dungeons and progress in the game. Also, you'll be better off dismantling than selling your extra weapons and armor. The dismantled parts usually sell for more. This review is slowly turning into a guide, and I think it's because I want every new player watching this to give this game a try. There is so much content, so many features, and so much to learn, one could easily feel overwhelmed by it all. There are those complaining that this game is too easy, and they're not wrong. I would agree that leveling up to 50 isn't hard, but the game evolves into something else. Some call it the end game, but I just think of it as another part of the game. The best part. This is where the game gets hard and the grinding starts. It's mid-February of 2022. The game is fairly new on this side of the world. The player base is at an all-time high. Although it appears you can solo dungeons on your own, that won't be the case later on as you progress. Some are saying this game feels like a single player game, and I totally get that. Early in the game you can solo your way through everything, but definitely take advantage of the matchmaking feature. You will be matched with a group of players and you'll be able to finish dungeons faster. Don't worry, you won't have to share your loot drops. I used the matchmaking feature at level 26, and I'm glad I did because it was way more fun. You feel almost invincible playing this game, especially at the start, but the game gets harder. I got my first taste of defeat at level 16. I used the revive feather to resurrect on the spot, which looking back is not recommended this early in the game. You start out with 10 feathers and the only way to obtain them are through certain quests or the cash shop. Yes, there is a cash shop. It is a free game. You don't have to pay $60 to play it or pay a monthly subscription. Is it pay to win? As of now, I feel like it isn't. My only beef with this game is that they make you do a TikTok dance in the town square in front of everyone. I couldn't pass up on the experience points and I leveled up from it, so...
Why would the demons do this? Must darkness always be at war with the light? I may have the power of a demon, but I choose to use it to help people. Always have, always will.
He's gonna cry in the car.
So that's going to do it for this review. Thank you for making it this far. A big thanks to all my new subscribers, everyone that likes and comments. This channel is about a month old and I still know I have a lot to learn. So if you're thinking about playing Lost Ark, I honestly don't know what's stopping you.
Do it!
I myself want to start a new character and experiment with a new class. I've covered 15% of what this game has to offer, and I'm going to continue playing and hopefully make more Lost Ark content. Thanks again, and see you guys on the next video.